Okay, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of VCTV, which is the Venture Capital TV, and it's from LaToken. And this is the first day of the week, and I'm very excited to host this episode of VCTV talking about the must haves when you're pitching to investors. It's very important. When you're pitching to investors, it's for money, obviously, for fundraising. So today's session is going to be focused on sharing insights on that particular topic from all our investors who are very, very experienced in the field. So basically, before I start introducing my speakers, let me just introduce myself. My name is Sunny Mohanty. I'm the regional director of LaToken based here in Singapore. And I've been hosting VCTV since 2020, February, because of the pandemic, as we all know. And since then, our investor community has grown, our viewership has grown. And yes, so that's about VCTV and that's about me. Let's just start with introductions from our speakers of the evening. As I see on my screen, I'd like to start with Devang Mehta. A quick intro on background, Devang. Thank you.
Sure, I am Devang Mehta. I'm a partner at Antil Ventures, a premier speed scaling ecosystem that invests at companies at pre-Series A and Series A of the investing cycle across three verticals, of which I handle the healthcare vertical. In conjunction with that, I also run Lumos, one of Asia's premier healthcare accelerators that helps companies across the world scale into India through a mixture of data and clinical validation and
Everybody put themselves on mute while Devang is talking. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Lumos helps companies scale into India through business and technical interventions. So we help with India market access, India growth, data clinical validation, introductions to experts and luminaries in the field. Essentially, whatever you need to leverage what India has and build better products, build better layers of AI, ML, or algorithms and things like that. I am based here in Mumbai, India. Background of technical and business and some angel investing experience. Been with Antil for 3+ years. Thank you.
Fantastic. And thank you. Welcome back, Devang. Next, I have Harsh Shetia from Our Ventures. Hi, Harsh. Welcome back to another episode. And please introduce yourself, the short background.
Hey, Sony. Glad to be back and glad to see so many familiar faces here. So, my name is Harsh Shetia. I'm a venture partner with Our Ventures. We basically help early stage startups fundraising with their pre-Series A, Series A rounds, all the way up to $10 million. My personal preferences is health tech and fintech sector, though we do expect invest in sector agnostic spaces. I've worked in companies like Paytm and J&J, which are Fortune 50 and unicorn companies, and I'm hoping to help more startups grow and scale their business and hopefully go international as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. That was quick and fast. Thank you, Harsh. Next, I have Boy Lau from Hong Kong, who is joining us for the very first time on VCTV. Hi, Boy. Welcome to VCTV. Finally, I have you after chasing you for a long time. I have you on VCTV.
I'm sorry, Sonny. I been very busy, but thank you for having me. Good to be here today. So, quick introduction of myself. I'm Bowie, based in Hong Kong. I'm a woman with many hats. So, one of the hats I do angel investment into technology companies out of my own firm called Mage Ho. So, we focus on 5 specific technology: AI, big data, blockchain, cybersecurity, and Internet of Things. If you have, I guess, any project that touches this area we're interested to look at. It doesn't mean we don't look at any other project. So that's Mage Ho. And on the other hand, I'm also a partner of a venture capital fund called True Global Ventures. We are a decentralized fund across 30 cities. So that means there are lots of partners across 30 cities globally. And there are 4 specific verticals that we're interested in. One is financial services. Second is infrastructure. Third is gaming/entertainment. And fourth is data and AI and data analytics. So glad to be here today. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic, Boy. And welcome to VCTV. Thank you so much for that intro. Next, I have Saurav. Hi, Saurav. I think this is the first time you're on VCTV, at least for my session. So welcome to VCTV.
Thank you. Thanks. Yes, first time for your session, though not the first time on LaToken VCTV.
Right.
My name is Dr. Saurabh Bhatia. I am based out of Pune, India. I am an investment banker as well as an investor, and I am also associated with our ventures. Usually, I'm sector agnostic as far as the choice of companies are concerned, but at the same time, I have special interest in healthcare, edtech, as well as AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurav, and yes, very welcome to VCTV. Next, I have William Du joining us from Malaysia. Hi, William. Welcome back. How are you?
Hi, good evening, and very glad to be back again. Right. So yeah, I've been pitching over the last few months, and especially the last 1 week. I probably spoke to over 60 investors on solar, on vertical farm, on four other startups that I'm involved in, and we closed two investor investment last week. One investor decided to invest 25 million US into our vertical farm, so we are finalizing the papers now, and the other investors decided to invest 10 million US in our solar fund, right? So yeah, so I've been wearing different hats, but since last 6 months, I've been involved in venture myself and raising money all over the place for my six startups.
Wow,
Thank you.
fantastic. Thank you for that, and welcome back. Next, I have Kingsley. Hi, Kingsley. Welcome back. Kingsley, you are on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry. My name is Kingsley Kobayashi. I'm a serial entrepreneur based in Tokyo. I've been in Asia about 30 years. I'm a blockchain investor. I also invest in clean energy, and right now looking into hair tech and payment system. So I'll be here many times. So I think you've already know by now.
Thank you, Kingsley, and welcome back. Last
Thank
but
you.
not least, we have Gary. Hi, Gary. Welcome back.
Hi. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. My name's Gary Fowler, and it's great to be here. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 companies, been involved in or co-founded 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, sold to Salesforce for 1.35 billion, about 22 months, less than 2 years ago. And also the co-founder of Viva.ai, one of the premier AI HR tech companies. I'm the CEO, president, and co-founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios, a premier Silicon Valley-based AI venture studios curating companies from all over the world, from Africa, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, India, Russia, and using Silicon Valley as a port to the rest of the world. I also write a lot. I've written 124 articles now. Just my next article is on quantum tunneling. No, I'm sorry, cognitive cloud computing, and then my next one's quantum tunneling in Forbes magazine. I'm just a country boy from Pennsylvania and looking for incredible AI and quantum companies that really truly want to be unicorns, which is interesting because unicorns are mythical creatures. We want to make them real.
Right. Fantastic. I really like that. We want to make unicorns real. Thank you so much, Gary, for that intro. So we are set with introductions of our speakers. So today, I request people to put themselves in mute. Those who are not speaking right now, just to avoid any noise from the background. Thank you so much. So today's topic is about must-haves when pitching to investors. So startups frequently prepare a pitch deck, as we know, to present their company to prospective venture capital investors or angel investors. The pitch deck typically consists of 15 to 20 slides in a PowerPoint presentation and is intended to showcase the company's products, technology, and the team to the investors. Raising capital from investors is difficult, as we know, and is very time-consuming. Therefore, it's crucial that a startup creates a great investor pitch deck by articulating a compelling and interesting story. So I would like to start with Devang. I'm going to zoom out, zoom in actually, sorry. So Devang, my first question to you on the topic would be, so what does it take? What does it take to have a pitch deck? I mean, general question. It's a very general opening question. So, what are the different parameters needed to be taken into account when a startup prepares a pitch deck?
Yeah, I think there's a few things to be known here for a startup, and these have been discussed a fair bit. But I think I like to break them down into two. There's first principles, right? Have a nice pitch deck which articulates what you do, what problem you're addressing, why is yours the best technology and team to address this problem, uh, how much does it cost a customer, how much will it save them, or what will it do for them from an economic standpoint, who are your competitors, and what is the market. and and really, I think this brings me to an important point. I think there's a lot of startups that frankly in India is one geography where they believe that more slides means more. That's not true. What you really need is a short, crisp, well articulated deck of up to 15 slides with another 8, 10 slides as backup or appendix to back up what you're saying. Do not come up with 100 word slide which talks everything and about how you started and how great you are and all that. I think investors are really uh, have short spans of time and concentration, and less is more. Really, whatever you need to talk, you put it in the notes field. Really, this is so tactical that I've told this to so many people. Use the notes field on your PowerPoint to write out what you want to say, and use the bullets in the main section for what you want people to see. Once you do that, you already are ahead of a lot of startups in terms of what you articulate. But going
Right.
back to the main points, addressable market, team, IP, defensible moats, what makes your team unique, and then there's one thing I like to tell startups as a pre-A investor. I think what you present in a slide and then what you do in an interview, what we look for usually is within a minute or so. Frankly, we judge if this startup is Series A able, right? So, which means that if we invest 100, 200K at this point at pre-Series A, will this startup make it to Series A? Is it Series A able? So that's a little unique way of looking at things. Does it have the team? Does it have the IP? Does it have the know-how? Or are they growth hackers that can hack through a technology which is somewhat undifferentiated? Something in there should tell us that this startup will hit Series A in 18 months. Okay, if you are able to articulate that through a deck or a combination of deck and the first meeting, that will make a great presentation and a great pitch.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that opening remarks, Devang. Next, I have William. Again, the same question. What should an investor pitch include? I mean, obviously, we can break it down as we go, but just opening remarks, William.
Yeah, I think the most important is the management team. All right. So I always introduce the management team, what's their background, and then we bring to the context where what is the management team trying to solve, or what can they bring to the table, right? So investor will always see that okay, the team is able to deliver what they want, okay, or execute the business plan, right? And then second will be on a business model, all right, whether the business model makes sense, whether the business model is scalable, all right. And then third will be on the ROI. Then we go deep into the financial modeling. So I think these are the three things that we always look at when we evaluate a deal. Right? Thank you.
Right. Harsh?
So lot of the times that we see, startups come to us, they say, this is an idea, what do you think? So we're not really looking for ideas, because ideas are a dime a dozen, right? What really matters is the management team and the execution capability. These two for me are the most important things. And a lot of the times you look at, the startups, they look at, this is the thing that we want. They are, like hounding the investors that, give us 15 minutes, give us half an hour to discuss, right? So to Devang's point, we meet so many startups. It's not possible for us physically to meet so many in a day, right? So you need to have a series of steps ready. Firstly, you need to get an elevator pitch. If the elevator pitch is interesting, then get into a detailed paragraph. If that is interesting, then we'll call you for a 15-minute discussion, where we quickly run through the pitch deck, identify the major points. Once that goes through, then we ask for a detailed, 1 hour, 1.5 hour discussion where we get into deep dive. Most of the startups, they reach out to us, give us an hour so that we can discuss. It's just practically not possible. So how it goes is just goes like a regular dating process, right? It's like asking a girl to marry you in the first date itself. Doesn't really make sense, right? So you first ask her for a small thing, then you go for a next step, then you take the third step. It's a step by step progression, and the founders need to understand, go through that step by step, and that is how you attract an investor. That is how to seduce an investor.
Right. Thank you so much, Ash. Thank you, Smala. Okay, that's a good analogy. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You
Sure.
forgot to say a glass of wine.
All right. Next, I'd like to ask this question to Bowie.
Yeah, I guess Devon, William, Harsh, basically cover a pretty good overview of what you need to include in your pitch deck. I think to add on, I think it's important that you need to do your homework on us before you speak to us. So let's say Devon is a Series A guy. If you are looking for a seed funding or a Series C, then if you go to Devon, it will be totally waste of your time. So you got to do your homework, do research on us. Easily you can find all the information on social media like LinkedIn, and the company. Uh, you pitching the company without having clear information that where you're in the space, the stage, and the geography that we are interested in, and then you come to us for funding. This is totally waste of your time and our time listening to your pitch. So this is a big no-no. This is something I like to highlight. And so to add what Harsh point, right? So talk for to give a pitch. I think prepare a pitch deck where you can give a very quick 15 minutes deck. However, if someone is interested into your project, you always need to have a backup pitch deck where you can elaborate for an hour talk. So I actually come across with quite a lot of different investors meeting where different investors actually have a different appetite. So someone might have just 15 minutes for you to really get to know about your project to see if they're interested in, then you should have a small deck to start with. But however, if someone turn and keep asking you more questions and want to see more financial figures, then you always need to have a backup deck to show more, substance information on the side while you're pitching, so that you are both well prepared for both scenarios. That's what I would recommend you to have.
Yeah, I think very rightly said, Boy. Point where research the investor before pitching. I mean, because you have to know which round you're pitching for, so that you have to know which round what rounds they fund. Basically, it's very crucial as well. Thank you so much. Next, I have Saurav. Over to you, please.
Thank you. Usually, what I recommend is for the first pitch, it's 9 slides and 9 minutes. Don't take more than 9 minutes. Don't make more than 9 slides, and don't ignore the exit plan. Majority of companies which I see are in India, and people just don't include an exit plan in the slide. And one has to always think that the pitch deck should be made for the investor. So you should see from the eyes of the investor. There's no point telling how great you were, as Devang mentioned. We know you must have done something, that's why you're here, but you have to see that what is the investor looking at, and he's looking forward to make money. So you have to tell how will the investor make money from your venture. And most of the companies, at least the ones which I come across, tend to ignore this. So this is an important point that I like to usually underline them beforehand. Thank you.
Exit strategy and how the investor can make money. Interesting. Thank you so much. Kingsley. You're on mute.
Thank you very much. I like to look at the areas that people don't look at very much. It's already well covered. But the first thing I look at is your demeanor. How do you come on stage? Are you relaxed back? Are you actually asking for money? Do you know what you are talking about? You have to know your project. A lot of people come around and they start beating around the bush instead of going straight to what they want. Tell us what you are doing, the problem you're trying to solve, why you're the one that can solve it, and say it in a way that is convincing to me to put my money in your project. Some people come in there as if they are coming to talk to me just as a friend. No, You are asking me to invest in your project. So you should be able to have that passion, that knowledge of the project that will convince me that yes, I should put my money in your project, and then also tell me how I am going to get my money out. Most people don't even remember to ask how much they want. They already finished the project and you have not told me how much you want. Then I have a problem because you have to tell me how much you want, how you're going to use that money, then how I'm going to get my money back. That's all I want to know. And if you captivate or you take my attention from 5 to 10 minutes, you already have my money. But if I don't be able to do that in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm sorry, we are not talking after that.
Wow, very strict investor. Thank you so much, Kingsley, for sharing those. So, Gary, over to you with your opening remarks and insights about this.
Yeah, so I actually have interviewed Guy Kawasaki recently and Bill Reichert. And so Guy wrote a book, The Art of the Pitch. And so there are really three elements. So 10 slides, 20 minutes, 30-point font. And those 10 slides, a title slide, the problem slide, you got to wow them, get them excited. One of the companies that I was involved with, long range weather forecasting. You can't control the weather, but you can control the impact on your business. And I would use that with Walmart, Target, Tesco, and I got their attention with it. The third is a value proposition. And again, I'm a country boy. Keep it simple. Underlying magic. What do you do that's so incredibly exciting? What kind of artificial intelligence? What kind of business model? What's your go-to-market strategy? Competitors. Who are the competitors? Where do you stack up? And one thing you got to do, as I said, 30-point font. Not drill down and try to make this a research project. I see a lot of technology founders come up with, and they look at the PowerPoint presentation and they think that they should stack as much information as they can in it, and they lose the audience. Remember, one of the courses that I took at Stanford University was pitching. In that pitching, we had an acting coach and we had a business coach. Why? Because part of this is acting, right? It's acting 101. Practice makes perfect. Competitive analysis, who the team is. Why are you going to be able to pull this off? Because think about it. We're going to give you money. And if we're going to give you money, we want to know how you're going to get our money back and what kind of returns we're going to get. Then we look at things like the financial situation of the company, where you're going to be, where you're going to go. What's your current status today? And then your accomplishments, timeline, et cetera, use of funds. What are you going to do with my money? If I give you money, what are you going to do with it? And do I feel that you can pull it off? Are you going to be able to have my money last 18 months? I look at an 18-month window. And what can you do during that 18-month period of time? So if you do that, and I've had thousands of companies through my accelerator, so GVA, I've had thousands of companies through a Skolkova Startup Academy, and each one of it's like back to basics. Keep it simple. People want to make sure you have credibility, they can trust you. The other thing is build an intergenerational team. It's really important during the pandemic. Why? Because people that have had success, you're hedging your bet. There's a greater probability that they're going to succeed. So the people with the gray hair, it's not bad to have them as part of the team. Multicultural, just like today, right? From Japan to Malaysia to Singapore to India, build a team that looks at things differently, because those teams are really, really important to make the company resilient. And so as we go down through it, the third thing is decentralized teams. I have a lot of teams in Eastern Europe and India that do the R&D work, right? We're all part of the same team, but look where you can get the best talent, or Africa, right? The best talent in the world to be able to pull it off. So if you're using artificial intelligence, which we do, or quantum, I look for teams that have the capability to be able to pull it off and as part of it. And we use Silicon Valley as a port to the rest of the world, keeping it simple. Why? Because a lot of investors have their office 5 minutes for where we are. And I can walk over, hey, would you like to go to lunch in normal times? And yes, take them down to Hobie's right down the street, El Camino Real, have lunch or breakfast. And it makes it a lot easier. If you're going to go fishing, you want to go fishing where there are fish. You don't want to go to a pond where you're questioning whether or not they're fish. Go where the fish are.
All right. Really like that, Gary, when you said gray hair, and I saw Kingsley just doing.
That's right, Kingsley.
That was funny though. Thank you so much. So that brings me to the next question, Gary, and everybody. I'm going to go one by one. Like now, these days, we do not have physical pitching sessions as much we used to have back before 2020. So, what differently, how the startups should prepare themselves for a Zoom pitching session? You know, it's different from a live pitching session before a live audience. Like I have seen lot of pitching sessions happening live before live audience, a room full of viewers and audience are there, they're watching, and the judges are sitting right in front. They can see you move, can see your body language, they can see you act. But with Zoom, we are very restricted now. Like a Zoom or a StreamYard or any kind of streaming platform is very restrictive, and we have technical issues as well. So, what are the things necessary from an entrepreneur's side to make up pitching more successful, and what are investors are looking for this platform?
Yeah, can I say something, Sonny? Because I got some points I just want to add here. I think about it. Like, keep it simple, stupid. As soon as you send something to them, they're going to Google your name. 100%. Who are you? You got to write. You got to, my partner's a billionaire, David Yang from Russia, lives in Silicon Valley, one of the top AI experts. And I remember him telling you got to write, because they're going to Google your name, and make sure you don't have social media. We got some crazy pictures when you were in college, right? Make sure that everything is very professional that's out there, but write a lot. Like I said, I've written 123 articles over the last year. Write as much as you can. Get on things like VCTV. Get out there, because people need to know who you are, right? In fact, I think it's the greatest time we've ever had, because where in the world will we get a chance to meet so many incredible people like today on the panel and broadcast around the planet to thousands of people? This is like, I don't have to get on a plane. This is fantastic. I don't have to worry about airport food. So get out there, write a lot, speak a lot, become an industry expert, because they're going to Google your name all the time. Make sure your LinkedIn profile's up to date. You've got the stuff on there, the right stuff, right? And make sure, because now it's about credibility. What credibility do you have? And do they really believe that you can pull it off? So before, they used to be able to do it one-on-one. But now it's different, because they have to use research to figure out who you are.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Gary. Harsh, again, online pitching now, no more face-to-face.
So it's definitely become, so it's definitely become a little difficult in terms of getting the attention, right? Earlier, as to Gary's mentioned, you used to have an acting presentation coach as well to guide people, right? So in a face-to-face environment, it becomes much more easier. But in a virtual environment, it's quite tough. And most of the startups don't even get that presentation part right. They aren't even familiar that they need to create that story about it, how the before, after, the end, the beginning, the middle, the end, how to structure that. They miss out on those elements. In a face-to-face pitch, that's difficult. Doing it virtually is even more harder. So it's creating a lot of problems that way as well. So I recently spoke to an Israeli VC fund, and they were like, currently they've practically stopped new partnerships because they prefer having face-to-face meetings and face-to-face interactions. And because it is virtual, they're saying it's hard to build trust. So it's become very difficult over there. But it's platforms like VCT over here, where we interact on a regular basis. So I'm working with Gary, I'm working with Noble and Peter in the US show, right? So that is how the more people interact, more it becomes easier. But at the same time, for pitching, it's become extremely difficult. Just one small tip that I would like to add: when we are speaking in a virtual conference right now, our instinctively we are looking at the screen to look at the faces, and we kind of get a feedback from that, right? But instead of that, look at the camera, so that the person on the opposite side, he gets the impression that it's looking directly at him. Even these small details can go a long way, which most founders don't really kind of focus upon. These tiny details which are there, but if you do that, they go a long way. Some founders don't even put their camera on because they're uncomfortable in front of the camera, or probably they're looking somewhere else. So these small things are extremely crucial, because if we cannot see the person's face, how do we build the trust to begin with the founder?
Yeah, that's very crucial, especially in these times, like we're living in. Camera has to be switched on, definitely, for anything.
Exactly.
Thank you, Harsh. Over to you.
So now I know what is going to be the next course I'm building on Skillshare, how to present on Zoom. So, so that's going to be my next course. But jokes apart, one of the things is I used to say earlier that investors always invest in a founder and not in an idea. It's already taking a hit when you are not able to present yourself in person in front of the investors. So it's as Harsh has already mentioned, it's important, keep your camera on, make eye contact, like the proxy eye contact through the camera. All these things are important, but at the same time, one also has to learn a few of the etiquettes which are required for presenting online. And I'm not going to go into those etiquettes, but they are there on the internet, and one has to do a little bit of homework or a little bit of practice. And one last point is, don't get rattled if the technology gives up on you at that moment. I have seen sometimes the pitching session go awry, and the founder is really rattled after like 3 or 4 minutes have been lost, and his whole plan has gone wrong. And then that just kind of shows to us what will you be under pressure. So
Right.
be cool and do practice. Yep, that's it.
Great point. Great point. How do you work under pressure? Thank you so much, Saurav, for those insights. Boy, over to you, please.
Yeah, thanks. Zaraf has a point. Be cool and get practice, but please don't practice on us. Please don't use our time to get the experience of practicing your pitch deck. I think if we really give our precious time to listen to your deck, you should, you need to turn on your damn phone, keep it on vibration, show your face, and have a proper lighting so that we can see your face. Have a proper a quiet environment with the best will be the plain background so that we only look at your face. And you got to make sure you have a good connectivity. We understand there's some technical problems all the time, but the thing is, if we really give us 15 minutes of our time or even an hour listen to you, we wouldn't want to hear any, problems in terms of your connectivities, right? So prepare a joke, crack a joke to break the ice. Sometimes the meeting could be very serious. I understand that, but I think at the end of the day, we're all human. And I think one of the panelists mentioned that we invest into the founders' quality than much more important than the project. So to be able to show your character, to show your charisma, is important to me personally. And I think Gary mentioned, go write on any social media. This is good. Go participate all the possible events to get visibility. If you don't get invited, what you're going to do? You can actually create your own educational sharing session with people. You can become your own organizer and do this and pay it forward. So when you create more event and you get the, I guess, experience and to practice to speak in the public forum, then practice makes perfect.
Very, very relevant points, Boy. I really like show your character. Like, obviously it's very important when you are pitching virtually before investors. Thank you so much. Next, I have Devang. Your insights, please.
Yes, a lot of good points covered. I'll just amplify a couple of really good things. So LinkedIn is really, really important. Everything dating back to at least undergrad, where you studied, what you studied, where you worked, with whom you worked, what your colleagues thought about you, what you've authored, where you've been mentioned and covered. And then, don't leave key gaps. Let's say you dropped out of school. Let's say you're a high school dropout, but still a good, or a good entrepreneur. There was one person I knew with that. So when it came under education, what he wrote there was, School of Hard Knocks. As the university he went to was School of Hard Knocks, and he described in just a succinct para of the financial conditions that led to him having to drop out of college, and how he did part-time jobs, and how he learned entrepreneurial skills and instincts while he was going through those life experiences. It was so refreshing. It added humor, it added gravitas, it added a different touch to a LinkedIn profile instead of just leaving it out or saying I dropped out in 2 years because I thought it was unnecessary or something like that. Just add some humor, add some wit, add a sense of class to your profile. If there's gaps in your resume or work, just come out with a good, believable, and well thought out way of explaining that. It works wonders because it's like Gary and a couple of other people mentioned. It's human instinct, right? The moment you get you don't even look to the PPT. You look at the name of the person and go to LinkedIn. Now, who is this person? What is his pedigree? Who do I know who knows him? Let me call him or her. Let me get even before reading the second slide. Let me just know what this person is about. It's like it's commonplace these days. Like if you send me a pitch deck, let me call. Let me call Karen at LaToken. Let me find out about Sony's past exits. Was it under duress or was it a great exit? Things like that. It's just instinctive. So do not underestimate LinkedIn. It's like a parallel interview happening even before you know it. Uh,
Absolutely
um,
agree. These days of social media, like we are all like, I mean,
yeah,
each other out on internet. LinkedIn is the best place. Sure.
correct. And it gets much more amplified today, where we might not meet someone in person for a few months. You might just meet before making a final decision. Everything else is online, and it's very, very important to just have all your tracks covered.
Very good. Thank you, Devan. William, over to you, please.
All right. When it comes to pitching, I think since the lockdown in Malaysia last March, all right, we basically created an accidental business out of it. So we have done probably 60 over virtual shows, and probably around 20 of them are paid shows. That means we promote our clients who are on the fundraising, okay, only for those who are approved ECF equity crowdfunding platform. And just in December, we did 2 shows and 2 interviews. And immediately 1 week after our show, they raised R1 million. And last week, they closed. They met their minimum fundraise, and they're able to close at 2 million now. And of course, they want to hit their 5 million target. And because of that, my partner has probably 5 inquiries just today. All right, I've seen for my calendar, he keep adding me to the meetings, but I have my other meetings. So I think in a nutshell is, if you're on my spamming list, at peak we have 3 events per week. Okay, so you'll be probably receiving at least 2 to 3 WhatsApp directly from me or our group chat. All right, I probably spam 30 groups on Facebook on each event at least 2 or 3 times, and surprisingly, all right, the group that actually asked me to stop is my schoolmates on the primary school, because they have no activities at all, and the only message is coming from me. Right? Imagine 1 week I have 10 messages coming from me. Okay. Yes, you have to be thick-faced. I come to a surprise when one of my posts on LinkedIn passed 10,000 views in the first on the first 7 days, and 3 investors that we are talking to actually comes from LinkedIn. They are my connection, but we never physically met, although we are in the same country. And they reached out when they saw my posting over the last 6 months. And one of them actually committed to invest. Right? So I think for entrepreneurs, you just have to use all channel. Never be ashamed of spamming people, because if they don't like it, they'll tell you. Then you just stop him, remove him from your list. I think WhatsApp has a very good
Don't
function.
spam your friends. Don't spam your friends.
Okay, you see, one advantage that I have, because I'm in financial service, I'm in the fundraising. So most of them will not want to offend me by removing me or ask me not to send, right? Only my schoolmates who don't really care, right? But in the most business group, they wouldn't want to offend me by, hey, William, can you stop spamming us, right? Because one day they might knock on my door and say, William, can you help me to fundraise? Can you help me to IPO? Can you help me to solve my distress problem? Because my first 10 years in my career, I do a lot of distress asset management, right? So they may not want to piss me off, and then, oh, since you asked me to reject me, now why you come to me again, right? So I think for entrepreneurs it's the same, because now you are doing fundraising, all right? Who knows? You might be a unicorn, right? In a few years' time, right? Or you strike gold, you get investors next door, and then next time they need to come back to you, all right? So I think for entrepreneurs out there, just keep pushing and push, because social media are free now. I spoke on a few clubhouse, and now I'm invited to speak at sustainability rooms. Okay, from everybody from every corner of the world, right? So I think you just keep pushing.
Just
Right.
keep
Thank
pushing.
you.
Very right. Keep pushing. Go on all the social media channels possible. Now Clubhouse is picking up very much. Thank you so much, William. Kingsley, over to you, and we start the pitch session after this. Kingsley. Okay. You there? Okay. Well, I think we can go to the pitch session now.
While we're waiting for Kingsley, can I add one note?
Sure.
Yeah, I think because we will be Googling your name, and it's important that you don't leave any negative comment that you have written in the past on any social media. So I think in the past, either Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, if you do, obviously social media is so convenient for people to freely express themselves. But the thing is, it also leaves a footprint. So if it's under your name, I think if it's anywhere on any social media channel, that is definitely a possible chance for us to find out what you have written in the past. So I guess, well, keep a rule in mind that you always be polite and be fair when you communicate with anyone over social media. I think this is a key rule. If not, then make sure you go back and delete all these unnecessary negative comments before you reach out any real investors.
Wow. So that's a very important point as well. Kingsley, yes.
Yeah, let me just add a little bit to it. I mean, it's all covered by the intellectuals in the team. I'm very happy to be with all of you today. Another thing that is very important is you have to visualize. You know, right now we are in the time of video conferencing. Let me not call it Zoom because we're not using Zoom today. Video conferencing, and when you are video conferencing, you have to be able to convince the man on the other side what you are talking about. Some of them get lost in translation. It is very difficult depending on what project you are trying to pitch. You know, if you are trying to pitch product that you are supposed to show to me and you cannot, then it's difficult for you to explain it. But what is good is that I have actually invested more during the COVID period than when I used to travel a lot, because I used to go Bulgaria, go here. I have more time to research work. But I don't have a problem when you send me a pitch on LinkedIn and you ask me, what do you do? If you don't have the time to check what I do, so why send me the pitch? So it is very important for you to do your homework. Do your homework, know who you are talking to, know whether it's in your feed. Like Madam said before, if I am not in your feed, there is no need to send me a feed of agriculture when you know I don't do agriculture. You know, I'm not going to invest in it. If you know I'm in the healthcare sector, Gary's in the AI sector. If I have anything that is in the AI sector, I will say to Gary. It's not okay. Please talk to Gary. So it is our duty to also share people, which investors invest in which division, in which project, and the people presenting should be more versatile, or let me say, in their project. They have to understand their project. The way you talk to people matters a lot. You know, I don't have to be there to see what you are doing. I just need to hear you talk. I need to hear that passion in your voice. Then I will be able to invest and have the confidence. You know, a lot of people lose confidence just by like if they miss the 3 minutes and then they want to rush it up. You don't rush it up. You know, your first 5-10 minutes have already convinced me whether I'm going to put my money or not. And we are actually investing more during this COVID period because it has become a small village like where Gary comes from. The world is becoming smaller and smaller. Whether you are from Africa, you are from Asia, you are from America, you are from South America, you can invest through the mediums we have right now. And that is a beautiful thing. You know, there is no segregation, oh, he's from this side, he's from that side anymore. So we are all able to invest. And one thing, I've been in Asia for more than 30 years. Your word is your bond. You know, if you are not going to fulfill what you are saying you're going to fulfill, don't even come to present to us, because we all know each other.
Thank you so much. Very good points, Kingsley. One important point is that if you do not know an investor and send them a pitch deck asking what you do, this is not going to take you anywhere.
Everybody sees that on LinkedIn. You know.
This is terrible. But anyways, that's why VCTV platform comes into play. Like, you know, we can help connect with investors, groom you on your pitch deck and presentation skills. So it's very important to go through a medium that is experienced in this space. Thank you so much. Next, we have a entrepreneur, a founder who is pitching. So let me get him from backstage to the front stage. Yes, he's there. He's there. Hi, Alexander. Hi. We are now ready to see your presentation. I hope you got some tips from the speakers today about presenting online, pitching online. So yeah, go for it. Thank you. All the best.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. It was really great session, and it really made me rethink my pitch. So maybe I quit. I'm just kidding. No, I will not quit. But you will see now. Actually, I will share the screen. And regarding the social media comments, I just have to say that I don't have any negative except Reddit, but you cannot find me there. So let me just start with my pitch then. Okay, so basically, my name is Alexander Bybowski, and I'm the founder and CEO of Loyal Crowd, where we actually help influencers to become publishers. Me, myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur, started in 2009. Since then, I have developed and sold 3 companies successfully. I had also many fails in my life. At the moment, I'm partner at Infinity, and through these companies I worked on, I had a growth hacking agency that was among top 3 digital marketing agencies in Europe, and we actually worked with many clients.
Okay,
among them.
sorry to interrupt. Can we do full screen? It's coming from the investors. A full screen, please.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, better. Is it okay now?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Perfect.
you.
So basically, when we were having like kick-ass growth as one of the most popular growth hacking agencies in the Europe, we actually have developed. We worked with many great startups globally. One of them was actually a TikTok. We were one of the first agencies that were working as a marketing agency for the TikTok. And in 2017, we sold this agency to Game Credits, which was actually one of the top cryptocurrencies in the market. And they raised 54 million for their ICO project, actually called Mobile Go. From the other side, my CTO is actually Filip Karajcic, and the partner is Vuk Popovic, who are actually the partners at the Quantox Technology, one of the biggest software development agencies in Southeast Europe, with more than 300 employees working on really successful and big products in the world. One of them is among the top 10 most visited websites in the world. And Marko Marjanovic, who is helping us from the business development side, a network of football agents and football world, where we actually started with football players. So what we found as a problem is that actually a lot of, through my experience, I found that actually advertising industry is not working very well these days, because there is a lot of bots, actually 38% according to some reports. 47% of internet users are using ad blockers, and actually a lot of advertisers that I was working with are unsatisfied with engagement, with user engagement they get with ads, and with actually options for advertising. So what we decided to actually start with customer development and ask if we have a good solution is actually because I was working with a lot of rewarding systems before, and during the Game Credits and other companies, we found that actually we can integrate a rewarding system together with an ad network that can be integrated with many applications, and this rewarding system can improve user engagement and bring more quality to advertisers. So why now? Actually, because now COVID and digitalization transformed the way fans are consuming content, and mostly it's happening online. And actually, for individuals, for like football players and actors and singers, it's hard to monetize their fan base, especially now, because they don't record the TV shows, they don't play games, stadiums are closed, gates are closed, and basically they are looking for online monetization channels. What our product actually is doing is we have rewarding system, and we are creating an official mobile application for every influential person out there who has a huge community and can share a really great content with them. And inside this, we create like a feed where we aggregate the content from all around the internet, like social media networks, positive articles about them, informations, pictures, and other stuff. And we open a placement for ads inside, which actually fans can choose to watch. It's not intrusive like YouTube ads, so they have to watch. Fans can actually choose, and if they choose to watch, they are rewarded with points. So actually they watch the ad that is up to 30 seconds. After that, they have a question, so we don't get bots. And when they answer correctly, they get points. When they collect enough points, they can redeem rewards from their idols. We have many influential personas who are working with us, from football players, singers. We started in Southeast Europe, where actually the team is based, mostly in Serbia. And actually we have a lot of connections there. So we started from here, but we also are expanding to other countries like UK, US, Germany, and our network of sports influencers, singers, actors, and other influencers that are popular on YouTube, gamers also are expanding at the moment. We have a huge network of advertisers. We launched in Indonesia with Marko Simic, who is a really popular football player of Persija Jakarta. And we have a lot of partners with digital marketing agencies who are providing us a B2C clients and helping us to grow. Also, we have a backend connected with AdMob solution from Google. So we are built also on the Google platform on top of that, because whenever we don't have ads, we can just continue to show ads from Google and bring the revenue to publishers and bring rewards and points to users. Our ad network, this is something how we are working, and we have like brands and advertisers who actually get a higher engagement because users are motivated to watch the ad, and they have to invest their attention in order to answer the question. And also they get like a survey feedback tool, where actually when they ask the question, they get the data, for example, how many percentages answered for the answer 1, 2, or 3. And actually everything is coming through our ad network, and it's paid per engagement. So actually we don't charge for impression, we don't charge for view, we charge at the end when user clicks to the website after the question is answered. We share we share our profit 50-50 with publishers, and we develop applications for free. We offer them free applications, free maintenance, and free marketing and technical support. Our main value proposition is that we increase fan engagement for existing for publishers and for influencers, and bring them money. We offer them better data, because actually now on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, they are not the owners of the data. The big companies are the owners of data of their users, and here they are the owners of the data, and they can play with this later on. We offer they don't have any additional cost. They don't have to go off Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. They can just continue it there.
Right.
Okay. So basically our products are split in 3 categories. There is API, mobile application, and website. API is where actually we can integrate with any existing application or website. Mobile application is where we develop the branded mobile application, and LC Web is a website builder which we are creating at the moment and finalizing for our launch. Earning potential is basically because we have 50-50 share. This is some costs of actually the potential earning for publishers based on market standards and even less than market standards. But I can share later on more data how it's going right now in Indonesia, so it can be more precise than this. Our competitors, there are few competitors in the market. Socios is, for example, the company that raised 60 million through Binance, and they are working on, let's say, Hunt augmented reality application for football clubs, but this is not integrated with their official app, and this is only they don't have a revenue from ads. They don't have they only have like cryptocurrency, which is where users can redeem rewards. Infront Sports is a really well established market in let's say company in the world of sports, and they provide football clubs with mobile applications and with cashback systems. And let's say the closest competitor is EscapeX, who actually already developed their Korean, and they developed the mobile applications for famous, for celebrities, let's say, but they don't have revenue from ads, but fans are buying tokens in their ads in order to engage with celebrities. This EscapeX, in the first year, they had 4 million ARR.
Yeah, we have 1 more minute. Oh, okay, cool. Good
That's
timing.
it. I know. Thanks.
Thank you, Alexander, for that presentation. You can stop the presentation. We can take the questions now. I think the first question came from Boy. From your core team, is the ICO project still going on?
Yeah, you
Yes.
mentioned the core team, the raise quite a lot on the ICO project. So I just wonder, is that ICO project still going on?
Actually, no. From the core team, only me was involved with this ICO project. Actually, this company bought my digital marketing agencies, and Game Credits and Mobile Go are not involved. Actually, are not that popular on the market right now because it failed with their delivery.
So you're telling me they raised, was it 54 million?
Yes, they raised
54 million, and the project fell.
Yes, and it was the biggest lesson in my life. I have sold 3 companies, but when I saw how people can spend 54 million in 1 year, it was the biggest lesson in my life.
Yeah, so then I'm sorry, but this sounds like a scam to me. So this sounds a really bad thing that you mentioned during your pitch, because I will want to know your past, and you basically open a can of worms.
Yeah, clear stuff. But the thing is that it really looked like a scam from outside. Inside, it was a team of 120 people in the Belgrade. And the thing is that it was really developing, but founders actually somehow changed their mission, changed their vision, and decided to not continue with that. So I had a 1-year contract to be with them after they bought my company. And basically, when I finished, I just get out because it was.
Yeah,
it was
I guess if I were you, I wouldn't have mentioned this in doing your pitch deck, because that piece of information actually make your project worse.
Okay, thanks for advice.
Any other comments?
And
Questions?
are you still running another ICO project? Because you didn't mention how much you're raising and what you're planning with the money. Are you having another ICO project for loyal crowd?
Yes, actually, we are running at the moment IO through LaToken, and we are actually looking to raise approx 5 million in order to bring a use case, cryptocurrency use case that we found among our users, where actually users want to get out also in cryptocurrency through rewards in our applications.
And so this is the IEO.
Yes, that's right, through LaToken.
So how much have you raised so far?
Through IEO or in total?
In total in the project. And
Yeah,
how much
so
are you looking for?
Yeah, so for now we raised 500,000, and the rest came from the money I have from the exits previously and from the other companies, and we are looking now for 500,000 to 1 million from investors in order to scale up and to because we found actually the only way how to the one way how to scale and get a really big return of investment on working with advertisers. So basically, when we are launching a new market, we hire agencies which has a huge portfolio of B2C clients, and they can immediately bring us their B2C clients, like we are doing, for example, now in Indonesia. And basically, whenever we open account, this is an immediate return of investment for us, because these companies and their clients are immediately investing through our app, and they are bringing us more of them.
Okay. What I'm trying to ask, you need 500,000 now. How much do you need in total? Because as an investor, I want to know how much you need altogether. Not tell me in 3 months' time that you need around that $1 million. How much you need altogether to make this project work?
Altogether, yeah, 6 million.
6 million. Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kingsley.
Alex,
Anyone?
Harsh here.
Yeah.
Harsh here. To add to Bobby's point, right, the fact that you blew up $50 million, that's obviously a huge negative. However, I would like to disagree with Bobby on one thing, that you should have you did the right thing by mentioning this upfront, because had you not mentioned it upfront, and if we actually take it forward, and we find this out in the due diligence that you hid that from us, and we find it over there, then you actually end up losing even more credibility. So it's a good thing that you kind of mentioned this upfront, because at least that way we at least know that the founder is trustworthy. The fact that you burn that money is kind of like a gone situation, and it obviously is going to be a huge black mark in your in your future investments or pitches that you do. However, it's very important to kind of be upfront and transparent about it and own up to that mistake that you did.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Alexander, how long did it take for them to blow through the money?
For this ICO?
Yeah, the 54 million. How long was that process? Was it 1 year, 2 years, from the time they raised to the time they finished it? How long?
1 year, 1 year, 1, 2 years. Actually, when I quitted, it was running more for like 6, 7 months, and that's it.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
It's laughing. I mean, it's not even a laughing issue.
I mean, they had a lot of issues, legal issues also with this, of course, and it's crazy. It's a huge lesson. They did crazy things, but it was the wild west on cryptocurrency market at that point.
Anyway,
I actually wanted to clarify one thing. I'm not asking you to hide the information, but I think this is a very serious information which you should declare in the follow-up round of the call. So I think the first pitch where you reach out to investors to really gain the interest. So I think when they're really more serious to get to know about the project, I think that will be the appropriate time to disclose the information. But this particular piece of information you really need to handle very carefully when disclosing it.
Of course, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree on that.
Yeah, and you also need to build a lot of credibility, because that has been a huge damage to your your credibility, right? So as Bobby said, you need to handle it very sensitively, and also try to build on that, and to say that how you're going to be different, and how do you plan to correct on those mistakes, and probably lead by action. That is the best thing that I can suggest right now.
Yeah, not to repeat that same mistake. I guess 54 million is a huge amount of money.
Absolutely. That's why I say this was my biggest lesson. I didn't manage this money. I was not a part of spending this money to be lucky. And the thing is that actually I saw because I was managing the whole marketing team. I was actually the guy who was like stopping a lot on this kind of stuff with them. But actually, the thing is that I just learned and move on to the next products that I can build.
Great. Good progress, I would say, Alex. Brave move as well. Any further questions from William, Devang?
No, that's fine. Nothing from me.
Okay, perfect. I mean, we all know the ICOs were the Wild West back in the days that Alexander was mentioning. So I think, I think now these days, these times, especially 2020, 2021, things are moving towards more regulated ICOs, I guess. I mean, the space is going to be regulated soon. That's what we think. I mean, that's what we believe should happen. So that this method of fundraising, which is not a scam actually, this method of fundraising is actually another alternative way of fundraising to crowdfunding, I would say, tokenizing your assets. Another alternative way of fundraising, which has been in existence. Just because of few scams, this method has been given a bad name. I would say ICOs generally, I would say, are not scams. It's just the projects who issue the tokens. But I think things are moving in a right direction, in a positive direction, and we should all be positive about the fact that Alexander is leading this, and he's coming and facing the investors and the viewers. And I wish you all the best for your success of your IO on LaToken, Alexander.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have any questions from the investors and speakers. Let's take some closing remarks. Very interesting session for me. I learned a lot. We also had a live case of pitching. So yeah, let's take some closing remarks before we close the show. Devang, over to you, please. Thank you.
Sure, wonderful session as usual. Always good to see returning folks like Gary and then new folks like Bobby. Welcome all to LaToken. The beauty of this is that there's always something new to learn because of the diversity of the panel and the startups and all that. It's never a dull moment. And look forward to the next session. Thanks, Sunny.
Fantastic, Devang. Thank you so much. And we look forward to have you as well. William, over to you, please.
Thanks for all the sharing, because every investor do have different perspective on how they evaluate deals. So as entrepreneur, you just have to find the right match. Okay. So because it's like a marriage, right? Investor can be very friendly, can be very nasty as well, right? So choose the right investor and partner, and then you can move towards your goal. All right. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, William. Bobby, over to you, please. I really loved listening to your insights today, by the way, I must say, before I listen to your feedback. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm very direct, so I hope you are okay with my approach, because I think instead of wasting time to go around, but why don't we just go to the point and tell you what I think about the project. So I thank you for having me, and finally I'm very happy to be able to participate at the VCTV LaToken, and I look forward to participate more in the future. And so I really, congratulating for conducting a really good session. I think the session is really interactive, and all the speakers are very knowledgeable and experienced. So I think what happened will be a good topic in future. Will be, for people, any founders or even investors to share about their failure experience. I think that will be a really good topic that I'm happy to participate, to share about my failure experience. So. Yeah, I think that would be a very interesting topic. So yeah, but thank you for having me, and thank you.
Thank you so much. It's good to be direct. I think to especially founders who are raising funds, looking to raise funds. Sorry. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that. Harsh, over to you.
So definitely, to add to Bobby's point, that would be a very interesting session to learn, because it's normally the failures where we learn from rather than the victories, right? So that is one interesting thing. And as far as the presentations is concerned, you need to have a solid pitch deck. You need to rehearse presentations, as been repeatedly mentioned earlier in this panel, right? You need to rehearse it. It is a combination of science and skill. You need to balance both of them, and it's not just randomly adding some points to the deck. There's a lot more element to that, and you need to thoroughly practice that before you actually reach out to senior investors and raise funds.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Harsh. Gary?
Yeah, sure. So, when startups are going out, one of the things that is critically important: build the right kind of team. Make sure you've got co-founders that complement each other. If you got a marketing person, make sure you got somebody technical. And also, I believe in the rule of threes. I generally have operations people that work with me as part of the team. The other thing is set your goals, visualize. There's some metaphysical part of doing a startup, that is the soft side. Believe in where you want to go. A lot of times people will try to talk you away from doing it. one of the things you want to do is use your customer development to figure out what is the right path to take. And it's never easy. Doing a startup isn't easy. There's a reason 9 out of 10 fail. Part of the reason is when you go up and down, the weak drop off when it's gone down and jump on when it's gone up. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you level it out. And it's not easy. It's fun. Stay happy. Stay positive. Focus. Find the right investors. As William said, you know, the best investors that I've had are people that become like a partnership on the team and give you ideas. Because listen, being the CEO of a company is not easy. You need to have ideas from different people. Always go to your customers. Consistently do customer development. Learn those lessons. I believe, you know, there's one thing about learning them yourself, but there's another thing about learning them vicariously. Learn from other people's mistakes.
Absolutely. Great points, Gary. Thank you so much for that. Next, I have Kingsley.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sonny. This was a great section, a lot of honesty. I am very moved with the honesty, the way everybody say their mind. If you cannot say your mind, I'm sorry, you are just wasting your time here. Everybody has said their mind, and we have all learned something today. We, the investors, have learned also to be more cautious of how we put our money out. Our brother, the pitcher, what was pitching, has also learned his own lesson of how to be able to manage investors' money. At least he's facing his downfall, short downfall in an open manner. Not everybody can come out and say that right away. I praise your effort for that, and that shows that you're not willing to make the same mistake again. You'll be more careful right now. But that being said, the credibility factor is very important in what we do. If we have to move forward with blockchain, if we have to move forward with investing, if we have to move forward with putting people's money into investment, we have to do due diligence on those projects that we are putting money into. It is very important. Whether you are a marketer, you are a manager, or you are an investor, do your due diligence. I don't believe that it's only blockchain projects or cryptocurrencies that are bad. There's a lot of bad traditional investment, but it is very important that you look at the rules and regulations of that state or country or that area or that region, and then embrace it, and also make sure that you look very well at the HRO. I mean, if a medical doctor is trying to do an agric work, you know it's not going to work. So you have to look at the HRO very well. You have to look at the project very well. You have to look at the exit strategy. And most of all, we have to take responsibility for whatever we do. It's our responsibility. If I'm putting somebody's $10,000 into a project, that is my responsibility. And we have to follow up with that. Thank you very much, Sonny. It's been a great day, and I'm always happy to be here.
Thank you, Kingsley. Awesome closing remarks and feedback. Alexander, your first time on VCTV, how was your experience? I mean, you obviously are very brave, must say, but so far, what's your experience?
Well, great. I really like it. I mean, I was watching previous also episodes, but I'm pitching from 2011 to you know, I was in front of Dave McClure, so I'm used to honest feedback, and I really appreciate it and I like it. This is always useful.
Perfect, and all the best again.
Thanks a lot.
So excellent, thank you so much. It's obviously we have come to the end of the show, VCTV, and thanks for your time, your inputs and insights. Very engaging session, and Bowie, and I think I lost Saurabh as well here. He was here for the first time from our ventures. Glad that you're part of VCTV now, a VCTV family that we call. Thank you so much for that. I'll be back tomorrow again on another topic with another set of speakers. And I wish that we all stay in touch and share information like this. And okay, have a great day and take care of yourself and be happy. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Take care, everyone.